we fucking go! You're listening to Bread and Circuses.
Was like the mob media, for one, is the entire world populated. Like, everybody's on Twitter. Fucking the UK is on Twitter. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
unfortunately.
With Caleb Salvatore.
Well, they can't go to the comedy shows because there's a 2-drink minimum, and you can't mix the Percocet you've been stealing from work with liquor.
And Nick Kohler.
There literally be people in the fucking 80s that didn't know that nutting in a girl would make her pregnant.
No one's asked that question. What did those families do to provoke Alex Jones like that?
You know what'll solve all of these racial police protests? A Pepsi.
What the fuck is up, friends? Welcome to this week's episode of Bread and Circuses. I think we're a little bit late, but eat a dick. We're like a day late. I don't know. I don't think it's that bad.
always eat a dick.
Always. Well, you can always eat a dick. That's always the correct thing to do.
Yeah.
But I'm Caleb Salvatore.
It's Nicholas Kohler. We're here with your latest Russian shill news here.
We recently signed a contract with what's that channel? RT. The Russian news channel.
That's it, really? I didn't even know
they're-
there's a Russian news channel.
It's state-run media. They have U.S. satellites though.
Really?
Yeah, Russian state. Yeah, I'm like 95% sure it's called RT. It's the Russian state-run media.
Whoa, I didn't know about that. I literally never get that recommended on my thing. So
I get it recommended all the time, so that tells us the difference in what we.
Really, that's funny.
I think they took it off YouTube though. I might be mistaken.
No, it's still on here. There's a bunch of she's got like fucking 4.7 million views.
So Alex Jones can't go on YouTube, but the Russian state-sponsored propaganda is more than welcome.
Yeah, that's fine.
The Taliban can stay on Twitter, but Alex Jones can't go on there.
Yeah, Alex Jones is much worse than the Taliban, dude.
The Taliban. I blew up Building 7.
Yeah, Alex Jones is like a person, whereas those things aren't people. They're like ideas.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yeah, okay.
Honestly, dude, I really think Alex Jones got kicked off just because that one. Who was that one journalist that he was beefing with from CNN?
Oh, I don't know. Was he beefing with a journalist?
Yeah, that's what led to the whole thing with him getting kicked off, man.
What did he say? Wasn't it something like you have the intelligence of a cow's rectum or something? He was just going in.
Lame, dude. Yeah,
it was like bullying type shit that got him kicked off. Is what I remember.
I think it's just too many people knew about Alex Jones too, and Google just decided nah, we won't.
It used to be fun. If you knew who Alex Jones was, 10, 15 years ago, it was lit. That was fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he just would make funny clips that everyone would laugh at. I'd be like, this guy's for real, dude.
Yeah, exactly. And it just got too big, is what happened. He got too big.
He influenced the 2016 election, man.
Oh, no, he did not.
I think he did, dude.
Do you really? Because dude,
yeah, early parts of the fucking early parts of the primaries and shit, man. He was the one that made those interviews where people were laughing at the libs, and he was owning the libs on the street, and that was influencing the early parts of the election.
He was making people look like idiots.
Mm-hmm.
You know what is an effective marketing strategy though, and I don't think they're getting enough credit for it. The Republican Party has fucked a lot up in the last month or so, but the effective marketing strategy that they have is those little "I did that" stickers that people put with Biden on the gas pumps.
Oh yeah, dude. Biden's fucking done, man. He's not winning re-election next year.
He may not even run. Well, 2 years. Well, I mean,
the election is going to be next year, though, right?
2024.
Won't it be late next year? And then
that's usually when they do they start doing primaries. The election won't be till November 24.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
midterms are this November. Yeah.
He's done, man. There's no way, dude. There's no way he wins re-election. There's no fucking way, dude. Nobody likes Biden.
Dude, he's botched so much of this Russia thing. Like, it's just one mistake after another.
What do you think he's botched? What do you think he's done?
I mean, there's the sanctions on. They've sanctioned everything but the oil. You know what I mean? Like they've gone after like certain individuals in Russia, but they haven't gone after Putin. And it just kind of feels like, dude, like you can either be all in on this thing or you can just step aside. And it's like he's half in, half out right now. So I'm like, I don't want more sanctions, but I think that he needs to make a commitment because otherwise,
I don't think he wants to be responsible for the guy that gets Russia or America into another big ass war.
Yeah, I mean? No, and I don't think we should go to war either. But I mean, you look at what he's done prior to this. He spent all the time antagonizing them. I mean, they were sticking fucking missiles on their border. You know, it's like we said in the last episode. What if someone stuck missiles on the Mexico-U.S. border, we would have invaded the next day, and we wouldn't have asked any questions. Like exactly. You know, so I mean, they Putin wanted that Putin. Sorry, I keep calling him Putin. Putin wanted them to honor a Cold War treaty, and I'm not a Putin fan. I think he's a piece of shit. He wanted them to honor a Cold War treaty from the 90s, saying that Ukraine would never be a member of NATO, and Biden kept dragging his feet. I feel that's a reasonable request. I want you guys to hold up to it. I want you guys to honor a treaty that you signed 25 years ago, and they wouldn't do it. And I
mean, it is true too. It's like we can't. People here can't relate to like the Ukraine is on Russia's border. Like, you know,
and you know, and obviously that doesn't excuse what they're doing, going in and dropping mortar shells at kids' cancer wards and shit. That's obviously fucked up. But we have antagonized them for the last 2 years since Biden took office.
I really don't like. Here's my thing: is like I really think that like when Western media just like highlights all that, 'cause it's very clear that the Western media wants like the NATO to go to war with Russia.
Oh, for sure, it's money.
Because they'll make money off of it. You know what I mean? And God forbid, that like it won't be on our doorstep. So none of these fucking shithead journalists will have to be worry about anything with it at all. But like, the fucking God, it's been a long day for me too, man. I was like lost my train of thought.
I totally get it.
No. Like, yeah. So they like want the U.S. to go to war with Russia and everything, but it's like it does kind of directly affect us, like what they're doing with the oil and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I get it, but I still think that all these stories they push of like trying to make Russia seem like they're the fucking, the boogeyman out there. Like they're just purposely targeting fucking schools and shit.
They're not,
like,
no.
Here's the thing about like battlefields, man, is like shit like that happens they're probably trying not to do that. You know what I mean? Because like consciously nobody wants to be the reason why a kid gets fucking blown up by artillery. Right. But like, dude, especially when it comes to artillery and stuff, like stuff gets misfired. You know what I mean? You get bad intel of like, oh, there's people here, and like, oh no, there's civilians there too. You know what I mean? Like
we just did that. Yeah, we just killed a bunch of kids. We just killed a bunch of kids and a translator because we thought they had something to do with the attacks in Afghanistan.
That's where kind of what I wanted to lead with this is like, dude, the U.S. does this too, and it's like if the only difference is like we don't just get highlighted all the things that we do fucking wrong. You know what I mean? Like imagine if like all you ever were fucking force fed all day, every day was like the times when there was blue on blue, or like some lieutenant called a fucking airstrike on himself and blew up his whole platoon or something. Like, you know what I mean? You'd get this perception that the U.S. military is fucking god awful.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, yeah, you'll hear about this stuff going on, but it's like, yeah, they're invading a country, man. They're gonna have some fucking crazy shit happen. But like, I doubt. Because damn well we would hear about it. I doubt that they're like lining up civilians and building up mass graves like it was World War II.
No, they're not. They're not doing that because I doubt the shit out of that if that happened.
Well, also it's like the Russians see Ukrainians as their own people. You know what I mean? They see them as Slavs. So it's
like the Civil War.
Yeah. So they see them as like their own people. I doubt that they would do that.
I would hope not
on purpose. Anyway,
yeah. Like I would hope not. I really I hate to say it, but I agree with Lindsey Graham. Did you see his comments? The senator from South Carolina.
Is he the one that said they need to assassinate Putin?
He said somebody's got to step up and do it. I'm like, well, you know,
I don't think so, man. What the fuck?
He ain't wrong. The problem is if you step up and you try to kill a guy like that and you aren't successful, he's gonna come back with a fucking.
Do you think somebody should have assassinated Bush?
I'm not gonna say that on the air.
I mean, like,
don't bait me in. You know the fucking feds listen to this show, man.
It's like if you think that if you like anybody who like even unironically fucking agrees with Lindsey Graham would have to, by that logic, think that Bush should have been assassinated.
To be fair,
Obama.
To be fair, Bush and Obama weren't having their press secretary go on TV 3 times in a week threatening nuclear war with anyone that tried to stand in their way.
That's because there was never any nuclear powers that were directly telling us that we shouldn't fucking be invading third world countries. You know?
Right, but even if there were, I don't feel like they would have had. And you know, what are you going to do? It's over. There's nothing to really compare it to.
And I don't think they're threatening nuclear war, man. I really don't. I think what they're threatening is invading NATO countries.
No, their press secretary came out the other day and straight up said there will be nuclear consequences.
What are they gonna do? Nuke a fucking city? Like, no, they're not.
I don't know.
They're not gonna do that.
I certainly hope not.
I think what I think that is Western media spin on whatever the fuck they're saying.
Well, unless they lied on the subtitle.
Was it directly translated to that? Because I know what they kept saying was there will be like consequences. There will be military consequences.
No, it was straight. It wasn't Putin. It was the press secretary straight up dropped the N-word. Not the Joe Rogan.
The Joe. That's known
not
as
the Joe. It was not the Joe Rogan N-word.
I never heard that, man.
That was the other day. Yeah.
All I've ever seen about the nuclear stuff is CNN and fucking ABC and all these fucking dickhead news media stations like this saying that they're gonna use nukes. It's like, bro, what are they gonna fucking do if we step in the Ukraine? You know what I mean? And they know this too because they're smart.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what are they gonna do? Nuke a fucking civilian city? That's not gonna stop our military from fucking invading them. What are they gonna do? Nuke their own people?
Right?
Like they're not gonna fucking do that.
CNN twisted Putin. His words. He did not threaten nuclear war. He said there will be consequences unlike you've never seen.
Yeah, is like invading a NATO country is a pretty big fucking deal.
They never did that. I mean? Yeah. Like, imagine if they like invaded England or something like that.
Yeah, no, they would invade like Poland or something.
Poland, dude. Yeah. So, you know,
Poland, so it's Romania, which they would fucking like to have those countries back. You know what I mean?
They took the other one out of context too the other day, where he said something about not the no-fly zone. The economic sanctions are essentially an act of war. And that was the headline, was Putin says sanctions are an act of war. And I clicked it. I'm like,
how come you keep saying Putin, man? Putin, is that how it's pronounced?
No, it's definitely Putin. I'm sorry.
I didn't correct you because I was like, maybe he knows something I don't. Like, I don't pretend to speak Russian or anything. So
Putin says sanctions are an act of war. And I clicked it. I'm like, well, I don't know if he actually said that. And he said, sanctions are close to an act of war. Thank God it hasn't gotten to a physical fight yet. I'm like,
dude, I encourage anybody, if you ever see any news article about the Ukraine from like the Washington Post or NYT, ABC, and all these fucking news things, just take everything they say with like a fucking entire 2-liter bottle of salt, dude. Like,
yes,
because it's like they're gonna spin everything to try to, like, dude, they're trying to make it seem like they're the fucking Empire from Star Wars, bro.
Yeah, no shit. Like these Darth Vader.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's not the case, man. Like,
no, not at all. So yeah, I mean it's just a shitty situation. It really feels like they're trying to lie us into a war.
It really does, and it's really scary, man, because there's a lot of people buying into it.
Dude, you watched it, like, now granted I was a kid at the time, so I don't have a great memory, but I can during the Iraq war, but I'll compare it to COVID, which was more recent, man. The fucking pressure to buy into the narrative and toe the line is just, it's so Iraq war-ish. You know what I mean?
Really is, man. You remember how everyone was convinced that fucking Saddam Hussein was like the worst person since Hitler? Like, bro, you know, in like the 70s, Saddam Hussein got a Nobel Peace Prize, right?
Saddam was a bad guy. He was like a C-grade dictator, though. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? He kept the peace over there, though. Like,
Yeah,
He kept all the fucking people in check over there. You know
dude, the Middle East is so complicated because you kill a bad guy and a worse guy takes his place. You know what I mean?
There's not even like really any bad guys. It's all just kind of people that are kind of doing their own thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I say, the one thing that people will be like, they will have a point with is that Saddam will order the use of chemical weapons, which is like, cool. You know what I mean? But like, even
it's not cool. It's not cool.
It's not. Yeah, it's not cool. It's clearly against fucking like our rules of law.
Everything. Yeah,
it's against our rules of law. But you know what I mean? Like, people don't understand the context to which they were used. You know what I mean? Like, they don't understand the context of
Joe Rogan with the N-word.
Yeah, right. No, like they don't understand like the context of like they were used on like insurgents,
right?
Counterinsurgency, and like they have just different opinions. You know what I mean? Like we can't. I always tell people you got to be careful about forcing our view of things on other countries. You know what I mean?
I think we should leave them the fuck alone. To be honest with you,
me too,
if they want to fight each other, then fucking leave them alone, dude.
Yeah, we were making money off of it anyway, supplying both sides.
So. Dude, did anyone like? And correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't believe anyone and this is 200 years ago, but did anyone intervene when we had a civil war? You know, like
probably. Actually, I think the European powers were like supplying both sides.
They might have been.
I know. I'm pretty sure the English were giving the fucking Confederates weapons.
That would make sense. So, like during the Civil War, or not Civil, the Revolution. I mean, you had the French and the Spanish were helping the United States. So they were funding an insurgency. It just happened to work.
Exactly, right.
You know, of course, it was a different time, but the French and the Spanish actually sent troops over here. You know?
Yeah.
So it was. I mean, that
Germans
was a whole
sent
different
mercenaries. Like,
German, but they were for the English, right?
Yeah, they were for the English.
Yeah, they were English guys. But yeah, I mean, it was a different time. I mean, they actually committed. We're going to help this insurgency, and we're going to fight with them because we can, take our enemy down.
It's funny how little things change over time.
I know. It's all fucking. It's all the same, man. You watch the Roman Empire and shit. And it's just very similar to the United States. It's eerie.
It is really eerie, man.
It's very, and we've talked about it before. I mean, obviously, the Roman Empire got too spread out. They were fighting too many insurgencies that they didn't have the manpower to fight.
Barbarian wars, man.
Yep, literally. I mean, how is that any different than what we were doing in Afghanistan for 20 years? Or Vietnam?
Yeah, it really is.
Vietnam. I mean, or anywhere in the Middle East for that matter. We were very similar to the Roman Empire. And it's just another thing about the Roman Empire is when they got to the point where they were at their most comfortable, they became obsessed with gender and they created all these different types of genders and shit like that.
Did they really? I know. I think I watched that on like Joe Rogan or something. That one author that wrote the book about that or something like that, right?
I think they mentioned an author, but I had read it somewhere else prior to that. I don't remember where, but yeah, they became obsessed with gender. And, men becoming women and just shit along those lines. And it's just like we're going down the same fucking path. History doesn't repeat itself, but it often rhymes, I think they said. That's the actual quote. I don't know who said it. I don't know who's they, so don't ask me.
Yeah, the scientists.
The science, the studies show. But I mean, we're going down the same road. It's a culture war from within, and it just feels very, very similar.
I watched a TED talk where it was talking about kind of how really big wars happen when one country, like basically when like one country economically steps up and starts challenging kind of like the economic might of the powers that be. That's when really big wars kind of start to happen. Like that's kind of like what happened with the world wars.
So Germany did, yeah.
Germany became a really strong economic power when they unified in World War One, and I mean, you could really kind of say World War II was kind of a continuity of World War One, really, because it was kind of directly caused by it. So, and even then too, like Germany was becoming like recovering from the fucking Great Depression and everything, or from all that, and from the post-war stuff, and their economy was starting to kind of boom and everything, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, and then dude, like another thing too that makes me laugh about this is like, dude, you're just seeing in action right now, like how good the fucking Western media is at just making a side seem like they're the worst thing since
what they
fucking taxes, man. Like
what they do.
They're so good, dude. They're so good at it.
Literally. And it's So I mean, World War One. That's a good example, dude. I mean, Allied powers beat Germany in World War One, and what did they do after they beat them? They sanctioned the shit out of them, and it worked.
They made Germany have to pay for the war. Like Germany didn't even start the war, dude. They just were involved with Austria-Hungary,
which is, I mean, they sanctioned them to death. And what sanctions?
They made them pay for the entire fucking war reparations, dude.
Yeah. And sanctions. So here's the thing about sanctions is we're sanctioning Russia. Vladimir Putin, and I got it right that time. Vladimir Putin and the oligarchs, I mean, they're not the ones hurting directly from that. It's the working class, when your dollar becomes worth toilet paper and you have hyperinflation and people are losing their jobs and homeless. The idea of sanctions is that it'll create an uprising against the government and create so much turmoil within their own country that they won't be able to focus on the war. That's the idea behind it. So, I mean, you're targeting people that don't want this war. Like the Russian citizens aren't guilty. We talked about it last episode. There's a lot of similarities right now between how we treated the Japanese immigrants in the 40s with how we're treating Russians.
Yeah, they're taking all the Russian vodka and alcohol off the shelves, dude. Like, are you fucking kidding me, man?
Those bar owners that were pouring the vodka out, you guys look just as retarded as the people that burned their Nikes that they already paid for. You know what I mean? Right. Like, come on, man.
People feel like they're doing something, right?
Yeah.
My whole thing is like, dude, like this is just goes to show how little fucking people are like actually pay attention to what's going on in the world. It's like I've been on air talking about this since the very beginning of our fucking show in like 2019, dude. This shit has been going on over there in the Ukraine for fucking almost 10 years, dude. 8 years.
Yep.
So it's like, why weren't you guys doing the fucking I stand with Ukraine shit back in 2014 when they blew the fuck out of that Donetsk airport? You know what you should do? Can you pull up on a fucking go to Google Earth on your browser and go to Donetsk and fucking Ukraine and go scroll in on the airport on there. And it's funny, I just looked at it today. It says temporarily closed.
Yeah.
But you can literally see like all the hangars that are all fucking blown up from artillery and stuff in there. And like,
oh, really?
Yeah, it's been like this for a long time, man.
I can't get. I don't have the keyboard with me right now, but I'll pull it up on my phone. Fuck, I don't have Earth. I deleted it. But no, I mean, I believe you. It's fucking.
Yeah, our viewers can do. You could go to
guys, go look it up
on Google Earth, and you can zoom in on the airport, which still shows as a fucking landmark on there. And you can see it's all blown up to shit, and like the hangars are all exploded, and there's rubble all over the place. I'm pretty sure there's some tanks that are like husks still sitting there. You know what I mean? From like the real heavy fighting that was going on. Like this has been going on for a long time, man. Like, and they knew from the beginning that Russia was doing it too. Like it's not news. It really isn't.
You know what I think the big difference is between now and 8 years ago when the Crimea shit was kicking off and the Georgia stuff, like 15 years ago.
There's really what was going on was there was big fighting in the Donbass region, which is like a state in really far eastern Ukraine that borders Russia.
I think the big difference between now and then is that hashtag culture wasn't as big of a thing.
In 2014, definitely not as much for sure.
Everyone, as far as like public opinion and stuff, everyone needs to feel like they're part of a cause now. Even though they're not actually doing anything, they changed their profile filter on Facebook and they feel like that's making a difference,
You know what I remember the first one being like that was like when that France bombing happened. Yeah. That was really the first one where everybody just kind of did the knee jerk, like pray for France. Like, bro, what are you fucking
Was that the Ariana Grande one?
Was it? I don't even know, man.
Or was it? No. It was the guy that like drew Muhammad or something, and they bombed his apartment.
Yeah, I don't even know.
Charlie Hebdo.
I don't know.
Was it? Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know. I don't remember. Like it was such a significant thing, but I do remember more that everybody was just trying to like be like, look at me, I'm the good guys. You know what I mean? Like
it's virtue signaling. It's seriously. I mean, look at like with COVID. How many people like have masks in their profile picture? Why would you do that?
CDC just this week, I think it was, this week or last week, said you don't got to wear masks inside anymore, baby.
Yeah, right in time for the midterms. Yeah, big fucking coincidence there. But I mean, it's fucking. How many people do you see wearing masks in their profile picture? Why? That's not the best picture of you. That's like someone it's someone wearing a MAGA hat. It's the same fucking thing. I think it was Rogan said that they were the MAGA hats of the left, and it's so true anymore.
It really
the masks,
is, man.
I mean, the people, the "Stay Home, Save Lives" banner. Shut the fuck up! You didn't go anywhere before this shit. Nobody wanted to hang out with you. Like, fuck up, man. I'm vaccinated. We're in this together. Let's do it. I don't care. Take the banner off. Like, make it you and your dog or your kid or your wife. But shut the fuck up. I don't need virtue
equivalent
signaling.
of the MAGA hat with the sunglasses inside the truck, like
the big sunglasses that like cover your eyes. What are those called? Pit vipers. Pit vipers.
Yeah.
They're the left-wing pit vipers. Really? I mean, it's fucking
sitting in your truck and your driver's seat, just a picture of like the low angle, really unflattering looking shit.
It's very similar, man. Everyone has to be a part of something that makes them feel like is greater than themselves because they really haven't done anything significant. Like that's people that really don't think about all the people you knew that were gung-ho about COVID. And then think about all the people you know that are gung-ho about pray for Ukraine. And we're gung-ho, like you said, about the France thing. And it's a lot of the same people. And a lot of those people don't have much going on outside of like their 9 to 5. You know what I mean? They don't have a lot going on in their life. It's not, they go bomb at open mics every night for all I care. At least they're doing something. They're not doing much. Like those are people that really don't have a lot going for them. And I watched a documentary on HBO a couple months ago about QAnon. I don't know if you've seen it. If you haven't, you should. It's very interesting. It's about like how QAnon was founded, and they interviewed the members.
Seen parts of it and stuff.
Yeah, it's very.
I was kind of outside looking in on that QAnon stuff as it was going on from kind of like the beginning. I still think that thing is like a FBI psyop, dude. Like,
for sure.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, like with the QAnon, they interviewed like normal like members, like people that were online and following it and shit. It was very similar to the people that were gung ho about COVID, or with the "Stay Home, Save Lives." If you even as much as fucking think about going to the grocery store, you're a murderer. Blah blah blah. Like those people. Or more recently, the people with the Ukrainian flags in their Facebook bios and shit. They were very similar to them in the sense that
anytime I see any of those with the Ukrainian flags, I'm just like, it's very cringy.
Right.
Like, God damn, dude.
It was very similar to those in the sense that they weren't like these like crazy people with these evil masterminds. They were just sad people that didn't have a lot going on, and they finally found something that made them feel like they were a part of something bigger than themselves. And as misguided as it was, that's what happens when you have a bunch of miserable people who are living unfulfilled lives. And it's very unfortunate on both sides.
Imagine all those "I stand with Ukraine" people being like, asking like, why do you stand with Ukraine? They're not, they don't do anything. They're not an ally of ours or anything. It's like,
that's what I try to tell people, dude.
Yeah, it's like they don't do anything for us, man. Like it's not like they're a fucking big, and we don't do a lot of business with Ukrainians.
Well, Joe Biden does.
Yeah, right. I mean, dude, literally. But you know what I mean? It's like, why do you stand with Ukraine? Why? Give me a good reason why.
If China were to invade the United States, do you think Ukraine would even debate to come to our aid? No, they wouldn't fucking come help us.
They wouldn't be able to, dude.
I mean, even if they were, do you think they would? No.
It's like if you're against like people, if you're against like these big countries like invading other countries, it's like, okay, well, the US has been doing that. Your favorite fucking politician ever, Obama, was doing that for 8 fucking years straight.
How we're helping the Saudis commit literal genocide in Yemen
right now.
You see that meme of the Yemeni people holding up the Ukrainian flag saying maybe now they'll pay attention to us?
Yeah, right.
It's funny but sad. I mean,
it is sad, man. Like it's.
Dude, the
Russians are getting fed the same. Russian people are probably getting fed the same bullshit that we are. You know what I mean? Like,
dude, it was in a Facebook group. It was a Kansas City comedy scene. They took a comedian off stage because he made fun of Ukraine.
They took down that one fucking video on Facebook. I don't know if you ever got a chance to see it. It was like Ukraine people right now, and then it was like from fucking Spider-Man 1 where like Aunt May was like praying at the foot of her bed, and then like the Green Goblin bomb blows up her window behind her, and she's like, like,
oh my god,
dude, it was fucking funny as fuck, man. Like, but they basically took it down after like an hour. I'm like,
Yeah.
why, dude? Like, you'll allow that shit to. If it was making a joke about Afghanis, you'd probably allow it. But it's
they took exactly. They took the guy down off stage because he made fun of Ukraine. He said Hunter Biden. He said Hunter Biden was to blame for the war in Ukraine, and that Vladimir Putin had prima nocta rights to the Ukrainian women. Which, if you don't know what prima nocta is, if you've ever seen the movie Braveheart, it's basically where the king can deflower whatever girls he wants. Not that funny, but I really don't feel like people go up and make Holocaust and 9/11 and rape jokes all the time. Who fucking cares? You know? And the guy's argument was, the guy that took him down was in the comments defending it, talking about shit going, I refuse to let someone who's on the wrong side of history get on my stage. I'm like, dude, like, the guy disagrees with you on foreign policy.
What fucking right do you have to decide what's the right side of history or not, you fucking cocksucker? You have no fucking authority on that.
It was a joke. Who knows how the guy actually feels about it? And like, these are like hard left people with like, you know, like Marxist shit in their bio and fucking, and, you know, pronouns, of course. And let's get vaccinated. We're in this together, you know, unless you make jokes about Ukraine. It's those people, the hard left people, that were all the ones doing it. And one of their reasoning was it went as far as the guy that was making the jokes is like half Chinese, like his dad's Chinese or something. And they said that his Chinese heritage makes him sympathetic to Russian interests. And I'm like, when did the left turn into George Bush, John McCain neocons?
That's like factually untrue. Like, China and Russia are not on the same side, bro.
Well,
like,
even if they were, the guy's half Chinese, probably like a fourth generation American. When did the left turn into just full blown Dick Cheney?
When did these fucking bar owners like think that they had like an accurate...
It wasn't a bar owner, it was a host, it was a comic.
That's what I'm saying. When did a host fucking think he had like an accurate understanding of how world geopolitics goes and stuff?
Dude, even if he did, he's a comedian. The guy made a joke. People make jokes about things they don't do. That's the point of comedy. The best comedy out there is when you can take a point that's impossible to defend and try to go up there and defend it in a ridiculous manner. That's the funniest part.
I'm going to try to spin it into a racist thing, man. Like, of course, these guys care about when Ukraine gets invaded, you know, when the white people get invaded. But I
made a TikTok about that today, actually. I said, you guys, like the left 20 years ago, when we invaded Iraq, was saying no more blood for oil. Now it's okay to shed blood for oil as long as the people we're saving are white. Like, that's the only difference here. Like,
as long as the people are European, dude, we're fucking A-okay. We'll go defend them. We'll go send people to die for them.
They don't give a flying fuck about anything that's going on in Yemen. They don't care about that. They
don't even care about like what's going on in Africa and stuff with the fucking China colonizing them and stuff. Man.
No, they don't care. Well, I mean, China controls the majority of our media. Do you think that they're gonna let that go? They
don't control, but they are significantly invested. Yes, they're significantly invested in our media, which means that if they pulled the money from our media, they would be like, nope, can't do that.
Do you know what's weird is, I mean, I'm sure you saw at least or heard about Bill Maher roasting China on his show?
No, because I don't listen to Bill Maher.
Actually,
he's a fucking jackass. So.
He's actually gotten a lot better. He's very much in the center now.
Is he? Did he finally get kicked off the left side when he would fucking said the N-word to Ice Cube and shit?
Well, there was that, and he made fun of cancel culture and shit. And I think Bill Maher, he's one of those guys. I haven't always agreed with what he said, but I at least respect him enough. But it's not that I don't agree with what Bill Maher says. It's the way that he said. Like, he's very condescending.
I fucking
very condescending.
Like factually wrong on like a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So
that's his style, though, is he goes for the clapter. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like he tries to do that, but it's like George Carlin already tried to do that.
Yeah.
And honestly, like a lot of the shit George Carlin would say was like I know a lot of people like George Carlin was kind of like a smart comedian, quote unquote. But it's like I've listened to a lot of George Carlin's bits and everything, and it's just like a lot of the shit he would say is like a cereal box version of like what's actually going on in the world. You know?
Yeah, I mean it was. you know, if a comedian's, especially toward the end of Carlin's career, and I think Bill Hicks was similar to this, they just got very preachy. Exactly, you know, like I have no problem with comedians going up there and making points. I think they should. I think that's part of what it is. But when it's basically just becomes a TED Talk and it's no longer a fucking stand-up show,
it'd be like a TED Talk.
It's like, okay,
it'd be a TED Talk, but it'd be like stuff that's very, very, very unspecific.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like when Dave Chappelle, the reason why Dave Chappelle's the GOAT is because he can go up there and do that, but he'll name like 3 very, very hyper specific instances of a point he's trying to make. Whereas like George Carlin would just go up there and be like, "They're bombing babies, and that's bad." Crowd.
And then
yes, I don't like bombing babies.
That's Saturday Night Live. It has just become clapter. It's not funny. It's corporate approved humor. It's let's dunk on Trump or Ted Cruz or whoever or Rogan yes, Queen. Yeah, I mean they hand
bombing babies. They're like,
well, no, they don't talk about that.
I don't like that. Or when you're spending time money, or the government, or Congress is literally bombing babies. They're physically doing it themselves. Like they're the ones pulling the fucking ripcord on the shells.
Well, Dan Crenshaw was. Dan Crenshaw. Did you see the video of Dan Crenshaw? He was doing some fucking he was doing some like fundraiser in Texas or something like that. And some little girl like questioned his faith, and he like 9-year-old little girl, and he just freaked out.
Hell yeah, dude. Fuck that 9-year-old kid.
Dan Crenshaw. Let me see if I can find. I'm not gonna play the video. I'll see if I can find the audio real quick.
Doing the military again.
He was supposedly a SEAL.
Was he?
I don't know. It's Here's the video.
He was a SEAL team member guy. Yeah.
Let me see if I can find.
If he was a SEAL, he was definitely killing kids, dude.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, it was probably hard for him to resist just snapping that little girl's neck right hard there. For him to
resist calling an airstrike on that little girl's position.
Here's the video, or here I'll just play the audio for you. Here you go.
Jesus is a hero archetype. Superman is a hero archetype. Real characters too. I could name 1,000. Rosa Parks, Ronald Reagan. End quote. I can't wrap my head around this.
I'll help you. Put a period out for the word Jesus and don't question my faith.
Whoa, dude! He's just calling in a fucking drone strike on your own fucking position, Dan Crenshaw.
He was fucking mad. Don't question my faith. I mean,
damage, dude.
I'll give the guy. I don't like him, but I'll give the guy the benefit of the doubt. He probably, the quote she's saying was probably out of context, or he misspoke. But I mean, dude, you're gonna try to dunk. You can dunk on a lot of people. Just from a PR perspective, a 9-year-old girl ain't the target. You're not in Afghanistan anymore, bro.
Yeah.
That's not who you dunk on. Twitter trolls, fucking, blue-haired 400-pound transgender activists all day. Dunk on them. 9-year-old girls, you might want to pump the brakes and maybe explain it to her like she's, a 9-year-old girl.
Hell no, dude. You don't understand, man. There's 9-year-old combatants in Afghanistan, bro, that he probably killed. So, you know what I mean? If he was a member of SEAL team, he definitely was murking some 9-year-old child soldiers. So that's just another target to him.
So that video was on TikTok. Should Crenshaw be nominated for Dipshit of the Week?
Maybe. Probably, actually. That's pretty fucking foolish of him, dude.
That's our first nominee is Dan Crenshaw.
You don't understand, dude. There was 9-year-old combatants, and I had to call airstrikes on them. You don't know, man. You didn't see what I saw.
I was in fear for my life from 300 miles away. All right.
I had to call airstrikes on them, dude. You don't understand. I had to order somebody to call airstrikes on them. You don't fucking understand, dude.
Should we do Dipshit of the Week now?
Yeah, let's do it, man.
Fuck yeah. Dan Crenshaw was nominee number 1. Nominee number 2, we have got, what's this guy's name here? Let's see. It's Adam Kaplan. Hold on. Let me get him pulled up here, and then.
We have to maintain our visage, at least, that we're centrist. Do we have some right-wing dickhead? Oh, I guess Dan Crenshaw.
You just said Crenshaw, yeah.
Yeah, Dan Crenshaw is a right-wing dickhead.
Crenshaw's a right-wing dickhead.
Yeah.
Hold on, So Adam Kaplan is our first nominee.
I just don't want to only be dunking on the fucking trans activists.
Yeah,
because then I'll feel like Ben Shapiro. So.
Unfortunately, they're the ones that fucking are on TikTok all the time, so it's hard to find a Dan Crenshaw.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's true.
Well, this is our first one. So I mean, I hate to break it to you, but it's not another Crenshaw. Here we go. This is Adam Kaplan.
Okay, I'm going to do this every time this fucking happens. I just walked into a restaurant. I had my mask and people were waiting, not eating, without masks on. What the fuck, people? Wear your fucking mask. Wear your fucking mask.
Wear your mask.
It's the law.
Not the law. The CDC said you don't have to anymore, bro.
Like, I just love the people like that like they're like, why can't you be a decent person and wear your mask? Like they define morality is binary, a binary choice for people that are obsessed with, their gender being non-binary.
Like I said, you don't even have to argue anymore. You don't have to argue. You literally, if anybody were to ever tell you that right now, you can just be like, CDC said I don't have to. So
I just ignored people. I mean, I'm
talking about like right now.
Oh yeah,
like literally, you got the ultimate dunk. CDC says, "No, we don't have to, man." So
well,
if they're still like, "Oh, you're doing," we're just like, well, you know what? The fucking authority on this says I don't have to, so I'm not gonna, bro.
Well, for people that rant about gender being non-binary, I think it's ironic they've always got this very binary sense of morality. You're against the world. You either wear a mask or you're a piece of shit. If you commit this misdemeanor, you're a piece of shit.
Most of the fucking masktivists, are also they're like that's not necessarily to me synonymous with being a gender activist. Because I think gender activists are way more out there, dude.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But the masktivists are this fucking guy. He just looks like a normal guy driving a fucking Uber or something. You know what I mean? That's just a regular looking fucking guy that, like, at least his appearance doesn't just immediately betray like everyone's opinion about everything.
That's true.
I mean? So like, it's like I said, that guy might not even think that about fucking gender and stuff like that. But he clearly is like a big mask guy.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, bro, like the same fucking you use their arguments against them. It's like this the fucking appeal to authority. The CDC were the ones being like, oh, you gotta do this, you gotta do this. Okay, fair enough. Well, now they're saying I don't have to. So
yeah, not that I was listening to him prior to that, but
exactly, you know what I mean. But still, like now, it's like you have like you got a concrete thing against you. You know what I mean? Like,
dude, my thing is like with people like that, it's just like to the dickhead in Vegas that was mad at me. I'm like, dude, if you're that worried about people wearing masks, why are you at a restaurant?
Yeah, don't go out, man.
Order Uber Eats. Get takeout. There's a lot of shit.
Why are you pushing all your concern on everybody else, bro?
Yeah, if this pandemic is really that dangerous, is it really worth it to risk it to go to Texas Roadhouse? You know what I mean? Like, come on.
I'm going to unironically try to start a petition to get cars to be illegal because I'm tired of the countless deaths that happen in car accidents. They just need to be illegal, man.
Believe me, I know. They
really need to be illegal. They just need to be illegal, dude. We'd save so many lives by just not having cars, and we could just ride bikes everywhere, dude.
See, that's the environmentalist approach. They're just taking it from a different angle. It's more of.
I'm just saying, man, like that logic can be applied to a lot of things, and you just got to know that as a society, we accept certain risks.
Yeah, unfortunately, if that's the thing, man, is if
to continue on as a functioning society, we accept certain risks.
It's like I think Portnoy from Barstool said, he's like, when they were saying that Fauci, like a year and a half ago was saying we're gonna keep things locked down until there's a cure, and Portnoy's like, hold on. No one ever said there'd be a cure. Dude, it was 15 days to slow the spread.
Common cold
that's what he said. He's like, so what? So what if there is no cure? Are we just done as humans? He's like, I think most people would rather just risk it. It would take their chances with Corona.
I think we've just come to a point right now where, and I mean, clearly the CDC fucking agrees. We've just come to a point right now where enough people are vaccinated, enough people have had it. You know what I mean? Where nobody's saying you're not going to get it because I mean, you can still get the flu, but you know what I mean?
Well, but last year you couldn't. Nobody got the flu last year.
Yeah, right. Well, hopefully though, and like I said, I'm one that got COVID and got my ass kicked.
You got same with Mia.
COVID whooped my fucking ass and gave me like asthma that I'd still deal with. You know what I mean?
And
but like now I'm fine. I will go out without a mask because I feel like I might have even had it again, but I've not noticed it.
And that's see, Mia got it twice. And the second time she had it, it was not near as bad. Mm-hmm. It was like she was I mean, she didn't feel good, but it was a virus. That's what it was. It was a virus.
I'm not gonna try to start fights with somebody over not wearing a mask over like getting a cold. You know what I mean?
No,
like
who fucking cares? You know, and it's like there's I think because here's my thing is I know I have a lot of friends that were at the beginning of this, and obviously I was very outspoken against all the regulations because it hit me in the wallet. But you know, it was not just that. I truly believe the government overstepped its reach, and I can understand the initial freak out that it had because we were hearing these horror stories from China.
Same here, man. Yeah, for sure.
About bodies in the streets.
I mean, we were even on air talking about it from back when it first started, talking about like, well, you know, like right now we don't know what's going on. You know what I mean? There's like people are out there really getting messed up from it. We personally knew people getting messed up from it. You know what I mean? So it's like, I can understand it. It's right now.
I was willing, you know, to go along with the 15 days to slow the spread thing. I was like, you know what? Okay, we don't know what's going on. We're hearing horror stories from China. They're not, we can't trust the Chinese government. It's probably worse than they're actually telling us. That's fine. 15 days, that's no problem. I can just chill. And then 15 days became 15 months. And it's like fatigue set in, man. And it's even the most gung-ho people I know about COVID who from day one through, you know, the first year wouldn't leave their homes. You know, everything was over Zoom, Uber Eats. If they went anywhere, they wore a mask in the car, just dumb shit like that. Those people are over it now. Those people are going to concerts. They're going to the mall. They're just done.
I was pretty much over it. Not necessarily over it because like I understand that like I'm not as crazy with it. I can understand at least some civil responsibilities to try to make sure that, you know what I mean, for like the first year or so. But like last summer was really the point where I was like, you know what, I think we're okay now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I might still get it, but like I don't think it's gonna be as bad. And I don't personally see people around me fucking getting it all the time anymore. So you know, I think it's okay.
There's still people holding on to it, man. It's like I said, this virus has given a lot of people their first personality in their lives, and they're not willing to let it go.
I joked with a coworker about it, and she's very. I wouldn't say she's a masktivist or anything. You know, that's the word I'm using now. I'm just gonna keep calling these people masktivists. But she's not that by any means. But she was wearing it today, and both me and another one of my coworkers were both like, you know, the CDC said you don't have to do that anymore, and she just was like, oh, I'm just gonna do it, whatever. But like it's just making me laugh. I was like, I joked with her, like, you're gonna be like the people in Korea, dude, just like always wearing a mask whenever you go out in public, dude. It's just how the United States is gonna be anymore.
There'll be some people that won't let it go, but I largely think a lot of people are done. I really do.
I'm just like, you know what? More power to you, man. If you want to wear a mask, fucking
I don't
5
care.
years from now, go ahead. But like the second that you start reading about other people not wearing it, I'm just gonna be like, dude, shut the fuck up.
No, it's like I don't care if you wear a mask the same way I don't care if you wear a MAGA hat. You know, you're virtue signaling both ways, and you know maybe the mask makes you feel a little bit safer, even though we both know it doesn't do anything.
It's
but
like,
I mean,
man, even if it did, you know, even if it fucking made you invulnerable to getting diseases, you know what I mean? Like, good for you, man. Just don't be like people don't need
shove
to
it down my throat. Yeah, well, it's
the CDC agrees.
The people that think masks protect them, as long as they're not shoving it down my throat. I compare it to people that like see psychics that talk to their dead relatives. It's really not hurting anybody. It gives them a sense of comfort. Who fucking? I think it's bullshit. I know it's bullshit, but it gives them a sense of comfort. Who cares?
Well, because I see the people that will like internally rage whenever they see somebody wearing a mask and like they're just minding their own business.
Who cares?
Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, I'm just like, dude, just like, let them fucking do their thing, man. And they want to wear a mask, like whatever, man. Like they're leaving you alone. As soon as there becomes like a conflict though, where they're like one person is like, oh, you gotta wear a mask, or like, oh, you're wearing your mask, you fucking dickhead. Just like whatever, man. Just leave people fucking be right now.
Dude, those people don't realize, like they think that like they don't realize, because you can tell a lot of them spent the last year and a half locked up. because
Yeah, right.
life is not the Facebook news comments on the local news. You know what I mean, man? If you get in my face and yell at me and you don't back down, I'm going to smack you in the fucking mouth. Like, get away from me. I don't want to hear about the mask shit. Get out of my face. There are physical consequences to acting like a jackass in the real world. Welcome back. Glad to see you again. Come on.
Getting ejected from restaurants because you're starting a fucking scene. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I bet that guy started a scene too. No,
he seems like the kind of person that just saw that and then went into his car and just was like so fucking upset that people were in a restaurant without masks on that he had to go on TikTok where he'd get a bunch of comments being like, "You slay it, queen. You tell it like it is, sister. You tell it, queen."
Have you seen the guy that follows people around in like Costco and yells at them for not wearing masks on TikTok? Maybe we'll have him on next week.
God,
but
where's
no, I
that
mean,
at?
It's in I don't remember where it is, but it's definitely in Western world somewhere, US, Canada type place.
Yeah,
but he
Costco,
follows. Yeah, it's Costco and it's like Target and like
Somali Costco,
Target at Minnesota.
You need to wear your masks.
That's in Minnesota. No, but like he'll just follow people around and like, "Where's your mask?" And he'll like start and like the people freak out, and I'm like, dude, like people just gotta chill. If you're on video like that, he's trying to get a reaction to be like, look at these violent, crazy anti-maskers. He looks like a whack job follow. If the second you just go, oh yeah, have fun with that, he's the whack job
man.
Yeah, he's the whack job because you're not wearing a mask and maybe that's illegal, maybe it's not, depending on where you live. But he's the one following people around with a camera, screaming at them in the grocery store.
Not maintaining his social distance. He's supposed to maintain at least 6 feet. That doesn't mean you just go out and seek people 6 feet, man. Come on, man. Don't you want your grandma to survive, bro?
To be fair though, it would, if I say that now, but if someone got in my face with a camera phone like that, it'd be hard not to.
5 years from now, 5 years from now, I'm just gonna go out wearing my masks that I still have from like right now, and like get really annoyed when people are like not wearing masks. You know what I mean?
Didn't spend a dime on masks. I didn't pay for one mask the entire COVID.
I got a bunch of UTEP ones free from school, and then nice. I was using those free bullshit ones for a little while, and they fucking sucked. And then I spent like $5 on some ones from like Old Navy or something, and they were actually like really comfortable, so I just wore those, and I was really glad I did, especially when I was doing DoorDash. But like I'm telling you, 5 years from now, man, I'm gonna get my fucking use out of that $5, bro. I'm gonna be wearing those in the gas station, and go like, "Oh, where's your mask, brother? Where is your mask?"
I actually had to bust out an N95 that I had from COVID last night.
For what? What'd you do?
So fucking 9:00 last night, we get a knock on our door, and Mia's like, someone's knocking on our door, and I'm like, who? So I look out the people and I see a girl standing out there, and I'm like, well, I don't know who that is, and I know what honeypot schemes are. So I'm like, you go in the back room, I'll be right back. So I grabbed my Glock. I don't know what the fuck was going on, and I like crack the door open, and I'm like, can I help you? And she goes, hey, do you guys have a bunch of smoke coming up here? And then I realized that it was the neighbor. I think because the girl below us has a roommate, and I was like 90% sure it was her. So I still brought my strap with me. But so like I went down there, and because there was no smoke in our apartment, and I opened the door like not to their apartment, to the entryway, and there's just dust everywhere. Some kid, as a prank, busted the fire extinguisher thing and sprayed it everywhere and threw it on the ground and made it look. Yeah, the fire department came and they were like, yeah, this is what happened. Like, because I thought it may like maybe it just malfunctioned, but I'm like, no, if it shot across the room, like there would have been damage to the door or something like that.
Somebody had done that in the barracks when I was in the army, dude, and it like a whole big stink got brought up about it. Like, basically that made everybody have to go out and do something to where nobody was like in the barracks during the week, basically. It sucked for them.
Oh, it was like a powder extinguisher, so it's all.
That's what those all are, man. Yeah. They're all like they spray fucking basically like sand.
That's what it's like. I walked in there and like I was coughing within 10 seconds. I'm like, let me go grab my N95.
They're like that on purpose because those things are like they snuff out the fire. You know what I mean? Like they tuck up all the oxygen so the fire can't spread. So.
Well, it literally felt like breathing in sawdust, like that. Like it's just a huge cloud of sawdust. So yeah, I finally got use out of a mask last night. So there's that. But
Yeah, right.
everything's good now. I say we just leave it at those two, and we'll come back with another dipshit of the week next week. Who do you think, Adam Kaplan or Dan Crenshaw for a big winner? Left versus right. This could very well be a preview of the 2024 presidential race.
You know what? I'm gonna say I'm not gonna go Dan Crenshaw because, like I said, he just was having fucking Afghanistan flashbacks to killing other fucking kids. You know what I mean? It's not his fault. It's not his fault. You don't know what he's done, man. You don't know the fucking amount of child soldiers he's killed.
Yeah.
You don't fucking know, man. He just was having a flashback. You know?
Yeah.
So the other guy, for sure. The other guy just like got so upset. Dude, he got so upset
he was
that he
raging.
had to go on TikTok for 30 seconds.
I'm on the other end. I think it's Crenshaw.
Really?
I think we need a tiebreaker. Hold on. Mia. Come in here.
Which one do you think is dumber, Megan? Which one do you think is
dumber?
dumber,
Get the dog. Come here. You don't have to be on camera. She's going to break the tie for us.
Okay. Come on, mask boy.
I'm not going to give her any context. I'm just going to roll with it. Okay. You're going to break the tie for dipshit of the week. Which one? Hold on. Which one do you think is dumber? So this is the first one. Hold on.
Does Mia know who Mia knows who Dan Crenshaw is?
You know who
right?
Dan Crenshaw is? He is a Republican congressman from Texas.
The guy with the eye patch.
He's got an eye patch. He's been on Rogan a couple times. So you're going to decide who's more of an idiot, and you're going to watch it, and you're just going to tell me in the microphone here. Let me find it here. I gotta pull the video back up. I closed it out. There we go. Okay, so here's the first one. This is at a rally of his. It's a 9-year-old little girl. So there's that one. Or here, this is number 2, and I'm not going to tell you who picked 2 because we need a tiebreaker. This is number 2.
Okay, I'm going to do this every time this fucking happens. I just walked into a restaurant. I had my mask, and people were waiting, not eating, without masks on. What the fuck, people? Wear your fucking mask. Wear your fucking mask. It's the law.
Who's the bigger idiot? Say it into the mic.
2.
You won.
Yes.
She picked the mask guy, right? Confirm. Yeah, she picked the mask guy. All right. Well, I guess that's that.
The fucking law, number 2.
It's the law.
Big fucking number 2. It's the law.
I gotta say, she was pretty shocked by the Crenshaw thing, though.
But like I said, dude, it's just him having fucking PTSD flashback to murder, or to shooting kids and calling airstrikes on kids in Afghanistan. So like that's just him, that soldier mentality coming back, man.
Crenshaw, it's like the movie American Sniper, where the scene with the dog in the backyard.
Yeah,
Crenshaw's
he's like literally fucking like his vein is like throbbing in his forehead. Like
the little girl's turned into like her skin.
He wants to grab his phone and be like, "I need to call this fast movers on position 9 or 2, 2, 9 or 1, 4, 4."
Crenshaw's fine. He's just seeing the little girl's skin just starts to turn brown. She's got she's got the burqa over her all of a sudden, and
it's fucking shooting at him with an AK-47. And he's just like, "Don't you ever question my faith, bitch!" He just flips over the table and is like taking fucking cover behind it, like, I need a fucking airstrike on that position right there.
His interns are just like, this happens like every week.
Yeah,
it's okay.
His interns are just like, Dan, are you okay? Mr. Crenshaw, are you okay?
This is normal for them. It happens like once a week.
Mr. Crenshaw, you're not over there anymore. This is America. That's an American 9-year-old girl. She's not shooting at you.
Yeah, it's an American 9-year-old religious zealot. It's okay.
Yeah, she's not shooting at you. She's fine. And he's just like, okay. Hey, cancel that airstrike. All right, we're
cancel
good.
The airstrike. Yeah, he was still calling it in.
Tell him to pull off.
Him and Alex Jones are sworn enemies. We'll have to pull it up next time. I'll show
Her or Dan Crenshaw?
Alex Jones and Crenshaw.
Really?
They hate each other.
Funny. I'm not surprised.
No.
I'll give Dan Crenshaw shit just because he's a fucking like typical like conservative guy.
Neocon.
Yeah. I don't think he's like quite on the neocon level. But I definitely think that he has some like cringy right wing fucking beliefs
For
for the sake of that. It's like, oh, we don't know what else will happen. You know what I mean? Like the
slippery slope.
Yeah. So like I would say, I don't think he's a complete idiot, but you know what I mean. But like when he's doing that, we'll make fun of him. For that.
Well, there it is. The future 2024 presidential race between those two.
Dan Crenshaw and that guy. What was his name? Like fucking
Kaplan.
What was
I don't know who it is. Adam Kaplan on TikTok.
Adam.
I don't know who he is.
Adam. There you go, bro.
They're both very good.
President Adam.
Very good caricatures of the right and left, the current state. The only thing he was missing, like I think that video is from a couple years ago or a couple months ago because it wasn't like a Ukraine flag mask. So.
You know what I want to see? I want to see like Ben
Ukrainian
Shapiro reacting to that, being like, "No, you don't understand. Superman is a made-up character from Krypton, and he is allergic to kryptonite, and he is not a hero. He is a hero, and he's an alien." And
all right, I think we should call it good there.
All right,
we got enough material out of Dan Crenshaw and the Masked Man for a little bit. So
the Masked Man,
the Masked Man,
the man in the mask,
the man in the fucking mask,
Dan
the
Crenshaw
man of the Ukrainian mask.
Dan Crenshaw and the Man in the Mask sounds like a James Bond movie.
It does. Dan Crenshaw and the Man in the Mask.
Crenshaw.
And the man in
Crenshaw.
the man in the Ukrainian mask.
Agent Crenshaw and the Man in the Mask. It's a fucking
right.
new Sean, or what's the
That's an episode
guy
title.
Well, who's the guy that makes the Splinter Cell books?
Oh, Tom Clancy.
Yeah, that's the new Tom Clancy book, Agent Crenshaw and the Man in the Mask.
Crenshaw. All right. Well, this has been Bread and Circuses. Promo code BREAD on Eventbrite. The link will be in the bio or in the description for this video or audio, whatever you're listening to. It gets you $2 off harmful content comedy tickets, or is it? It might be more than that. It might be like 3 or 4. I'd have to check. I don't remember, but I know it's $3. It's $3 off harmful content comedy tickets with the promo code BREAD. Bread. Link will be in the description. If you're in North Platte, I'll be emceeing the Nebraska Libertarian Convention on Saturday, April 9th, I believe. That's the Saturday. Let me check before I talk out my ass here. And then that night, we will be having Saturday, April 9th. That night there will be I'll be doing a show in North Platte as well. Just because my hotel's paid for, I might as well hang out and do a show, make a little bit of extra money. And we'll be doing a show there, so you should stop by. The venue doesn't fit a lot, so my guess is it's gonna sell out pretty quick. But yeah, so come on through. It'll be lots of fun. Then I got Detox Sober Lounge March 26th. That's the finals there. April 16th at Wired Pub. We're also doing the next harmful content, but buy tickets to this one first. We got Ethan Abramson from Lincoln, actually from Kearney. He's fucking hilarious. So that's all I got. Busy.
Hell yeah, dude.
Oh, April 20th, Lincoln too. So
if you're in one of our El Paso listeners, Nick will be doing a open mic down at the UTEP Student Union Hall, or the Union Hall
really?
again, and again next week.
Fuck yeah.
I went last week. It was a lot of fun, more music than comedians, but you know, it was fun to kick off the cobwebs out of my crotch and stuff.
Dude, those crowds are harder.
Yeah.
Those mixed mics, because it's a bunch of musicians that only came to listen to themselves.
Mm-hmm.
There's no one that's actually there to listen to comedy. So that's tough. If you can get those people laughing, that's fucking impressive.
Yes, sir. So I'm just doing it just because, like I said, I miss being up there on stage. So it's fun to finally get back up there and do it.
I'll give you some of my gigs. I'm going crazy. You can have some of mine.
Yeah, right, man.
You can have some of mine.
No, I would need like 6 months of fucking getting back into it before I'd want to go back on and doing actual shows, man.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, I need to get all that rust off, oil it up, and lather.
All right. Well, this has been Bread and Circuses. Thank you guys so fucking much. Make sure you leave us 5 stars on Apple, Spotify, wherever you listen to us. Like and subscribe on YouTube. YouTube, not YouTube, the band that spammed everyone's iPhones a couple years ago. YouTube, subscribe, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you're listening to us. Leave us a good review. We appreciate it. Thank you so fucking much. Peace the fuck out.
Ooses, y'all.